What's up, welders on YouTube? So, the V22 Osprey and infrared suppressors, we're going to get into that. Now, I have a special relationship with military aviation. When I was in the Marine Corps in 2001, I was an aircraft hydraulic mechanic, which was a job I obviously took very, very seriously. Actually, I didn't, to be honest with you, and it's really unfortunate because I could have learned a lot more. But fast forward years later, and I got to work on military aircraft again as a welder. Now, let me tell you, there's a huge difference between repair and manufacturing. To be honest, repairs are a lot more difficult, and if I knew what I knew today, my job back in 2001 would have been a whole lot easier. But enough of that, let's talk about the Osprey. So first off is the threat. Now, what is the biggest threat to helicopters and aircraft like the Osprey? Well, they tend to be a little bit slow moving, so the biggest threat are man-portable surface-to-air missiles, or SAMs. And the threat is actually pretty substantial. I'm sure all of you are watching what's going on in the Ukraine, and a lot of the reasons why they're still really in the fight is because they're able to use surface-to-air missiles on Russian helos. And as you can see, this is why infrared suppression is needed. Granted that this is really close and it wouldn't have really mattered for this helicopter anyways, but the threat is still very real. Boom. One guy on the ground with ordnance that probably cost $60,000, $70,000 takes out a $30 million aircraft and two pilots like that. So infrared suppression helps to mitigate that. So how does an infrared suppressor increase aircraft survivability? Well, it does that in a couple of ways. First off, it actually covers the machinery if it's actually exposed from infrared detectors. And then another thing that it does is that it cools the exhaust, the hot exhaust coming from the tailpipe, which could be thousands of degrees. Now, as you can see in the video, this is white hot. That's probably damn near welding temperatures, but the exhaust, which is probably still a few hundred degrees, maybe even 1,000 degrees, is definitely not nearly as hot. And that's what you're trying to achieve with a good infrared suppressor. And not only does it do this by cooling the exhaust tailpipe and obscuring the view, it also injects compressed air, which is another layer of a fluid, and they call that film cooling. That compressed air will go into the exhaust air at the same time, which makes for a passive system. So usually infrared suppressors don't have a lot of moving parts, and just really simple and work. So typically with most aircraft, using infrared suppression has two benefits. One, it actually decreases the range infrared suppressors can detect the aircraft, so you can get closer to your target without getting shot down. Another added benefit is that it increases the effectiveness of your jamming equipment if you have it. So, it'll work better, but I don't know much about that, so that's the best way I can explain it. And then there's also a third benefit when it comes to the V22 Osprey in particular. Now see, this aircraft, when it was originally made, had a lot of problem with damaging flight decks because the exhaust heat was just that intense. It could literally just, melt the floor on certain aircraft carriers. Now here is some video that I took of the Ospreys. This isn't stock footage. This was actually at an air show in Miramar, September 23rd, 2017. Now pay very close attention to the end of the video, and you'll look at the bottom of the nacelles, that's where the props are, and you'll see, like the distortion below and how much heat is actually being pumped out of the rotors.
Most lethal and valuable weapon systems, the Marine Rifleman.
kind of difficult to see. Right there, if you look. Let me back it up a little bit. As the aircraft, even with this old blurry video, and sorry, I had this on YouTube a while back, and they love deleting my channel, so I didn't have a 720p upload. But if you look right here and here, you can obviously tell that this is definitely a little bit more fuzzy than that tree over there. And that's not due to my camera, that's actually the heat that's coming from these things causing that distortion as it moves through the air. The last thing I'm going to leave you with are actual blueprints and some videos that I took of the Osprey when I was working at Honeywell Aerospace in Torrance, California. Now, the video quality isn't that great, and I wasn't actually able to record myself welding because it was extremely difficult at that company. They didn't want any cameras anywhere near there. So just remember, smash that like button and subscribe. You're actually going to get to see prints from an aerospace company that might even require clearance. You don't get that anywhere on Facebook or on the entire internet for that matter. So yeah, smash that like button and subscribe, and also check me out on Rumble just in case they try to delete my channel again. I've had my channel deleted once because SpaceX lawyers actually contacted me. So when you saw that aerospace weld test, that's one of my videos, I can't actually name the company that it's from because YouTube will just take it down. So check me out on Rumble. I'm also Howard Hughes over there. And thanks for watching. Peace.